In his return to late night, Jimmy Kimmel fought back tears as he attempted to bring the country together. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. I stayed up late to watch and react this with you. I gotta say, I just finished it. It was pretty good. It was better than I expected. The stuff regarding what happened this week, I want to play a couple key clips. You can obviously watch this over on Kimmel's page. I can't just play it in its entirety. If you'd like to watch it uninterrupted, go watch it there. Don't leave mean comments. You're going to watch a couple clips with me, and then I'm going to share some more reactions, but I do have to start and stop to offer commentary. For those of you who missed it, here's a section. He thanked a lot of people, all the late night hosts and people who helped him. But this is where things got more interesting.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway.
There was a lot of it. There was a lot of people who stood up.
Like Ben Shapiro, Clay Travis, Candace Owens, Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, even my old pal Ted Cruz, who, believe it or not, said something very beautiful on my behalf.
I hate what Jimmy Kimmel said. I am thrilled that he was fired.
Oh, wait, no, not that. The other part.
But let me tell you, if the government gets in the business of saying,
what you
we
can
don't
and can't
like
say
what you, the media, have said, we're going to ban you from the airwaves if you don't say what we like. That will end up bad for conservatives.
It'll end up bad for everybody.
I don't think I've ever said this before, but Ted Cruz is right. He's absolutely right.
I do wish he had brought Ted Cruz on, I'll be honest.
It affects all of us, including him. I mean, think about it. If Ted Cruz can't speak freely, then he can't cast spells on the Smurfs. Even though
just see, like, he has a few moments where it's good, and then one joke just doesn't hit.
I don't agree with many of those people on most subjects. Some of the things they say even make me want to throw up. It takes courage for them to speak out against this administration, and they did, and they deserve credit for it, and thanks.
To be fair, Cruz didn't really speak out against the administration, but he did. He was a dissenting voice. It's true. It's hard to do. Trump doesn't like that.
Telling your followers that our government cannot be allowed to control what we do and do not say on television, and that we have to stand up to it. I've been hearing a lot about what I need to say and do tonight, and the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind.
I have to offer the commentary. Well said. Well said. This is where it gets good.
But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't.
Now, a lot of people are going to try to make fun of him. Oh, he's fake crying. Jimmy Kimmel's one of the biggest crybabies on air. He cries a lot. I don't believe for a second this was fake. I think he genuinely cared. And I think he's genuinely emotional in this moment. I do. Some of you aren't going to agree with me. It is what it is. I've seen Kimmel cry in a lot of these sort of instances on his show. He has cried before.
I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion. And I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way. I have many friends and family members.
First of all, he's right. He would have, and I like that he said that. Notice he hasn't apologized, but he's acknowledged, I get it. I get why you were mad at me.
On the other side, who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever. And also selfishly.
Amen. That's the most important part here. We have to stop fighting and try to imply otherwise. Let the man explain himself. He has every right to get to explain himself.
I am a person who gets a lot of threats. I get many ugly and scary threats against my life, my wife, my kids, my coworkers because of what I
believe
choose
it.
to say. And I know those threats don't come from the kind of people on the right who I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. But I don't want to make this about me because, and I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
Here. I've tried to say that over and over again, whether you like Kimmel or not. If you support the freedom of speech, you should have defended him in this instance. I stand by it. Just as I defended Gina Carano, just as I defended Roseanne, I've defended both sides, and everyone should be. We must stand together and not let the government.
I've had the opportunity to meet and spend time with comedians and talk show hosts from countries like Russia, countries in the Middle East, who tell me they would get thrown in prison for making fun of those in power, and worse than being thrown in prison. They know how lucky we are here. Our freedom to speak is what they admire most about this country. And that's something I'm embarrassed to say I took for granted until they pulled my friend Steven off the air and tried to coerce the affiliates who run our show in the cities that you live in to take my show off the air. That's not legal. That's not American. That is un-American, and it is so dangerous.
He goes on. I don't want to play the whole speech. You guys can go watch his whole speech. I want to play one more section at the end that I did find pretty emotional, where he brings up Charlie Kirk's wife.
We saw this on Sunday. Erica Kirk forgave the man who shot her husband. She forgave him. That is an example we should follow. If you believe in the teachings of Jesus as I do, there it was. That's it. A selfless act of grace, forgiveness from a grieving widow. It touched me deeply. And I hope it touches many. And if there's anything we should take from this tragedy to carry forward, I hope it can be that, not this. So thank you for listening, and I'll have more to say when we come back.
Just to be clear, his voice was shaky the whole time. As soon as the show started, he was shaky. You could tell he was nervous. He was emotional. People are going to make fun of him. People are going to say, oh, he's using this, he's using that. I didn't get that vibe. I watched the entire thing. You can watch the whole 28 minutes, 30 seconds. It's on YouTube because it didn't air in a lot of Sinclair and Nexstar stations, which is pretty messed up. Let the people decide whether they want to tune in. There was a couple other digs at Trump. Actually, a lot of digs at Trump still. He did not unleash on Trump and what Trump is doing in this. And I do want to share what Trump has responded. I can't believe ABC gave Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want someone back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who's put the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? This really is hard for me to read. This is a president speaking. He is yet another arm of the DNC, which one could argue a lot of the television is liberal aimed. I'm not going to deny that, but just his threats of this publicly, to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. I just find this so unpresidential at all. This is pettiness. This is, as he admitted, Trump admitted at the memorial, sorry, Charlie, sorry, Eric, I don't forgive. I want to destroy my enemies. That's Donald J. Trump. And I just think this is not what the country needs. More division is the last thing we need. We need to bring folks together. And I was worried Kimmel wasn't going to be able to do it, to be honest. I worried Kimmel was going to be too aggressive. And I do think most of it was pretty eloquent and spot on. And I do think genuinely emotional. So I got to say, for someone who doesn't typically watch Kimmel, I did watch tonight. And I think a lot are going to watch tonight because of this all. If anything, they helped Kimmel in a strange way. And I'm glad he's back on the air, as would I be if it was Greg Gutfeld or any Tucker Carlson or any voice. We should not be taking folks off the air who are criticizing those in power. That is the most dangerous thing we could do for our democracy, for the freedom of speech. And I will defend anybody's right to say, whether I agree with your beliefs or not, you should have the right to say it, especially if it's criticism of our leaders. That's the first thing to go. That's what people in Russia were saying Putin did first, was he got rid of MTV because some puppets he was frustrated with. Look into the Philippines. There are history that you can go back to see these points. This was an incredibly important moment, way bigger than Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm very glad to see folks stood up against it. And I hope everybody can agree this should not have been how Kimmel went down. This was not the way to do it. They overstepped, in my opinion, and I'm glad to see he's back. I'm glad. I will probably not continue to watch after this, but I'm glad he has his own venue, and those who want to watch can watch. That's the most important thing, I think. What do you guys think of this? And did you watch the full show? What did you think? Let me know your thoughts. Hit that bell for all alerts. Smash the thumbs up as well. Let us know what you think. We can all agree to disagree, but I hope we can at least agree freedom of speech here in America is something we need to fight for always, on both sides.